I am the mother of 7 human people. I've been at this gig for 15 years now. I've been served the typical childhood ick, snotty noses, pink eyes, wet, croupy and hacking coughs, rashes and fevers of undetermined origin, bloody lacerated scalps, scraped and then scabby elbows, lice. In the midst of a particularly hostile stomach flu involving cataclysmic diarrhea and aggressive vomiting, one of my darlings shit on my lap, barfed down my shirt, and into my bra, all at once. It had been a new bra. I've seen, touched, and conquered so much of this wholly unappealing childhood nastiness that I no longer give any of it a second thought. There's no retching, eye-watering, or screwed-up faces from me. No, I just get it done and then carry on with the 1,000 other things that require my attention. There was, however, a mostly kid-specific situation that no amount of time in parenthood could have ever prepared me for. To avoid future mortification, I will omit the age and gender of the child who suffered this indignity. You see, one night my kid entered my room, sheepishly approached me and stated, "Mommy, my butthole itches." "Did you wipe really well after you pooped?" I asked, feeling certain that barnacle butt was the most likely cause. "I think so," the kid answered. "Okay, well, why don't you take a shower just to be sure?" Soap and water seemed to be the answer, and the child went to bed with no mention of the issue again until around the same time the next night. Through my closed bedroom door, I heard the words, "Hey, Mom, my butt feels itchy again." After running through a mental checklist of potential culprits, had I recently changed washing detergent? Do little kids get hemorrhoids? Did this weirdo defecate outdoors like a bear and then use the leaves of a poison ivy plant as nature's toilet paper? Being unsure, I did what any concerned but already in bed and nearly asleep mother would do. I consulted our after-hours physician, Dr. Google. In the search bar, I typed, "nighttime anal itching in children." The first 15 or so results included the same exact word, pinworms. While I'd heard of pinworms, I hadn't taken the time to research them because, why would I? Worms are just harmless, wiggly little earth noodles, right? That's right. They live in the ground, and we do not. Our paths don't cross, and everything works out super great. It seems, though, that pinworms are a rather common intestinal infection of school-aged children. This was our first visit at the parasitic rodeo, and I did not know about these worms. Turns out, rectal itching is the most common symptom and is usually worse at night because the worms move to that area around the Duke chute to lay their eggs. That's right. Do you know how it is suggested that you check for pinworms? I'm going to save you that search. You have to examine your child's anus. Their chocolate starfish, you have to look into it. Your kid needs to be on their back, knees close to ears, with their rectum fully exposed. It's embarrassing, humiliating, and undignified, and the patient probably feels pretty weird about it too. And another thing, pinworms are attracted to light. That's right. So you're to aim a flashlight or the lamp of a coal miner's hard hat or an industrial spotlight at your kid's butt. You're going to want to really light that thing up like a night game at Wrigley Field. If there is an infestation, the worms, which look like tiny, squirmy pieces of white thread, will make their way out of the back door to greet y'all cordial and neighborly-like. That's not all, though. If you have no luck with visual confirmation, but your child is still suffering from nighttime anal itching, it's suggested that you press a piece of Scotch tape onto the asshole. Any pinworm eggs will stick to the tape, and then a diagnosis can be made by a doctor who will be delighted to examine this curiously obtained evidence under a microscope. Once an infestation has been established, there's a simple, inexpensive, over-the-counter medication to kill the freeloading invaders. I would suggest purchasing these pills at a store that also sells beer and wine by the shipping container, as you will likely want to drink away the memory of what you just had to do as a mother. I'd have never imagined when holding my tiny pink baby for the first time that in the not too distant future, I'd be asking my wee one to try to fart, but not really fart. Because I really need that lower orifice to pucker out. All the while fake smiling and assuring them, yes, honey, kids have to do this all the time. There's nothing at all to be embarrassed about. Now, if you'll just bear down once more and let me get this beam of light just so, I think we'll be able to corroborate if you have a nematode family living in your pooper. It's been said that much like pinworms, children themselves are parasites. That being a person or thing that takes something from someone else without earning or deserving it. I tend to disagree. For me, it's always been very give and take, joy and pain, lovely and gross, well-timed cuddles, and spontaneous crotch kicks. Pride and humiliation, all in relatively equal measure. I will say that after conducting an exhaustive and woefully humbling investigation, I earned, deserved, and took 2 Xanax and a scalding hot bleach bath.